Tonight I decided to try to eat someplace else I haven't been to yet. Some of the locals have told me this is a good place. Tom and Jerry's Bar and Grill. They have a very broad menu with a lot of different items on it. I tried the chicken sizzle plate. It was pretty good. The atmosphere in this restaurant is nice. I like the different items on the wall, the decor. Sorry, I'm just showing you the menu there. About 3 weeks ago, tomorrow, I did the walk, watching serial number 15 roll to the pad. It's only been 3 weeks. A lot has gone on since then. The ship is incredibly big, as all of them. It's also a very long walk. I'm thinking about doing it again next time, but it does take an entire day. And the fog just kind of rolled in that day really quick. Then a few days later, I had to go and try to get a good sunrise shots and some close-up pictures for you all. The cabling and stuff looks nice. That's where the flight termination goes, by the way. Then the morning of the sunrise, I was able to get a nice little angle to watch, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. And this is the Starlink dish. And of course their Raptor Loose sign. Now this was my sunrise shots that I was able to get when I was over there. It is amazing the views you have for the sunrises and sunsets around here. To get over there early in the morning and wait for that sun to come up and just look for just the right picture. And then this was one of the evenings when I was waiting for a nice sunset. Getting ready just this week, actually. Trying to catch some good sunset shots. The Starship is pretty much prepped and ready to go. It's very close to Boca Chica Beach. There's a lot of people out here on most days enjoying the surfs. There's also a lot of wildlife. I'm told these are clowns. I'm not sure I've never seen them wild in nature. Because 50s have been doing fish. We need to get back into the water so that they can get back over the head. You also have to watch out for the manta wars. Those things can still sing when they're dead. There's a lot of wildlife out here flying around, and they seem to be pretty much at peace with Starship being so close by. I would have figured they might have moved off with all the activity. But it was fun to walk on the beach, and you can see the Starship from the beach. Some people at the beach did not know what it was, and it was fun to explain it to them. I think it's odd that they drove right past it to get to the beach and they don't know what it is. Others just kind of act like it's just there. A lot of the younger kids are always watching it. On this evening when I was getting some sunset shots with it, they were constantly working on it and testing things, getting it ready for the static fires. And it was nice to be out there watching the sun go down and enjoying the environment out there. It is hot and humid, and it's something I'm trying to get used to. I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, as I mentioned earlier, so this weather is different for me. But I do love being able to catch some good pictures. I normally work in the computer field, and this is a different break for me, and I'm enjoying it. I'd like to stay here. and try to find as much time as possible, because some of these views are just very calming to one's soul. And in these troubled times, we need that now these days. And it's interesting to find people out there on their horses next to Harley Davidson. A horse I ride, a still horse I ride, and a still starship I'll go to Mars on. And here's the moon coming up. It would have been nice if I could have been out there the next night. But this is what the moon looked like that night from my camera. As I got back to the hotel room, I often wonder if my cat is even watching the launches or just the birds as she looks out the window. Then we had the static fire. This one here was from my iPhone. So it's people excited at the beach watching the static fire. It was nice and visible that day. Still a little hazy, not as clear as it used to be. But at least it looked like a good, clean static fire. And this is from my main camera that I try to do all of my footage from. It would be nice if I could stream from it, but it's kind of hard to do that. But I can get pretty close with the zoom on this camera. I'm constantly looking for newer and better equipment that I can afford to invest to be able to do more. Because I'm really finding this fun to watch and see everything that's going on. Like I said, this is the first static fire. And you can see after the static fire, they go to a detank. And it seemed to be a successful static fire. They look cool and they sound cool. The next night we had that beautiful pink moon that I would have loved to have been over there, but the roads were still closed. So couldn't go over there to get the starship with it. The next day was pretty foggy. This is from the iPhone. You can just barely make it out, the flash through that. Even my main camera, even zoomed in, was able to pick it up. You could barely make out the starship in the fog. But it looked pretty cool. And I was kind of happy that I had the camera pointed in just the right direction. I wasn't too sure if I was to get that or not. But it did look very neat, lighting up the fog like that. And then today, they're still working on it. And this is another nose cone, serial number 16, I believe, coming out. Already has its flaps on it. And we have just all the park out here for all the flowers and stuff. They're still working on the big mound of dirt to help protect the new fuel farm from landings. And work is constantly going on this place. It's always growing and changing. The bunkers they're building, for whatever reasons, and the test rig. And serial number 11, parts are still out there. They haven't finished cleaning that up yet. I'm just hoping when they do launch, serial number 15 will not be a part of this wreck. I'm hoping SpaceX has a nice, safe landing this time. That is all from me tonight. Looking forward to a launch